Atlas of AI, Power, Politics, and the Planetary Costs of Artificial Intelligence. In Atlas of AI, Kate Crawford offers a thought-provoking and eye-opening exploration of what artificial intelligence really is, how it's made, and the complex web of implications it has for our world. She argues that despite the mystique and hype surrounding AI, it is not some ethereal, immaterial force, but rather a technology deeply rooted in physical infrastructures, human labor, data, and power structures. Crawford begins by grounding AI in the very literal sense, showing how the minerals and metals needed to manufacture the core components that power AI systems come from mines across the globe, from the salt lakes of Bolivia to the deserts of Australia. Extracting these raw materials like lithium, rare earth elements, and cobalt often involves exploitative labor practices and causes devastating environmental damage. For example, in Buyeo, Inner Mongolia, the world's largest rare earth mineral deposit has created a toxic artificial lake filled with black sludge, a byproduct of the mining process. But it's not just in the mines where hidden human labor fuels AI. Crawford reveals the millions of low-paid crowd workers, content moderators, and mechanical Turkers around the world who perform the tedious digital piecework of labeling training data, reviewing flagged content, and doing quality control, often for just pennies per task. These ghost workers are essential for making AI systems function, yet their contributions are rarely acknowledged. Even the pioneering researchers who laid the foundations of AI relied on underpaid human labor. When Fei Li and her team were building ImageNet, one of the most influential training data sets in AI, they turned to Amazon's Mechanical Turk platform to cheaply outsource the work of sorting 14 million scraped internet images into over 20,000 categories. That early decision set a precedent for exploitative data labeling practices that are now rampant in the field. Crawford then delves into the politics and harms of classification in AI systems. Using historical examples like craniometry and phrenology, she shows how attempts to categorize humans into fixed types based on physical attributes have long been used as pseudo-scientific justifications for discrimination and oppression. While those skull-measuring techniques have been debunked, Crawford argues that similar logics of biological essentialism and determinism have crept into how AI systems classify people. For instance, many facial recognition datasets use crude, outmoded categories to label people by race and gender. The UTK face dataset, a major face dataset used to train AI systems, only has 5 categories for race: white, black, Asian, Indian, and others. These classification schemes then get baked into AI systems used for sensitive applications, like predictive policing and housing decisions, encoded as unquestioned ground truth. Another key dataset Crawford examines is ImageNet, used as a benchmark for object recognition AI. She and artist Trevor Paglen dug into the dataset and found many problematic and offensive classifications lurking within it, from racial and misogynistic slurs to cruel character judgments. For example, the ImageNet category bad person included labels like kleptomaniac, alcoholic, and slut. While ImageNet's creators later removed many of these categories after public backlash, the incident reveals the politics inherent in labeling data. It imposes a particular worldview while claiming scientific objectivity. These examples underscore a crucial point. The data used to train AI is never neutral or objective, but rather reflects the conscious and unconscious biases of those who collect and label it. Yet within the AI field, amassing more and more data is seen as an inherent good. Crawford calls this an extractivist view of data mining, one that prioritizes the quantity of data over its quality, ignores issues of consent and privacy, and envisions all data as fair game to be harvested infinitely. Crawford then turns to a less discussed but crucial aspect of AI: the massive amounts of energy required to power it. Training a single large AI model can emit as much carbon as 5 cars over their lifetimes. The data centers that form the backbone of the AI industry are huge consumers of water and electricity, most of which still comes from fossil fuels. Yet tech companies' proclamations of sustainability and greening the cloud often obscures their actual energy footprint. Even more concerning is the deep but opaque entanglement of the AI industry with military funding and objectives. The Pentagon's Project Maven sought to weaponize object recognition algorithms to analyze surveillance drone footage and identify human targets. Google, Microsoft, and Amazon all vied for the lucrative contract before employee backlash led Google to back out. But the incident exemplifies how AI companies, while espousing ethics, are readily cashing in on the business of war. Beyond the military, AI systems developed by companies like Palantir are now routinely used by law enforcement, immigration agencies, and local governments in predictive policing, facial recognition, and benefits-cutting algorithms. With little oversight, this allows for AI-powered surveillance, discrimination, and control to be extended into ever more corners of people's lives, from their homes to their workplaces. In essence, Crawford argues, the unaccountable privatization of AI has allowed military and policing logics to quietly seep into many social domains. After this wide-ranging survey, Crawford zooms out to offer a bigger picture view of what's at stake with AI. At a fundamental level, she contends that the AI industry runs on a massive, invisible infrastructure of extraction, of natural resources, human labor, and data. Every part of the AI pipeline, from the electricity powering servers to the training data, has a hidden human and environmental cost not accounted for in the abstract statistical models. More broadly, this extractivist mindset stems from a worldview of infinite growth and consumption. If data is the new oil, then AI is the latest way for a small number of tech companies to drill into every corner of human life and activity and turn it into profit, at the expense of privacy, equity, and collective well-being. The assumption that collecting more data and building bigger models is always better ignores the social and ecological limits of such an approach. So what is to be done? Crawford argues that we need a fundamental shift in how we think about and govern AI systems. Rather than focusing solely on technical or legal fixes like debuzzing algorithms or instituting piecemeal regulation, we must consider the larger structures of power and political economy that AI is embedded in. This means reckoning with thorny questions of labor rights for AI workers, data privacy and consent, environmental sustainability, and monopoly power in the tech sector. Most crucially, Crawford calls for a rejection of AI systems that perpetuate harm and discrimination, and a shift towards genuine accountability in automated decision-making. She highlights the growing resistance, activism, and worker organizing within the tech sector as hopeful signs. Recognizing our shared vulnerability to exploitative AI, we need connected movements that tie together economic justice, racial equity, data rights, climate action, and labor rights. Ultimately, Atlas of AI is a powerful call to remake our understanding of artificial intelligence, not as an abstract, neutral technology, but as a material, political, and fundamentally social phenomenon. Only by grappling with the full, messy reality of how AI is made and whom it serves can we build towards more just and emancipatory ways of using it. Armed with Crawford's insightful map, we are better equipped to question the myths of AI magic, hold the industry accountable, and imagine liberatory alternatives.